the Balls Podcast
with Mark Davis, Krista Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Jake Winnikine, Alan Tomasella, and Nick the Doc Skirkle. Good evening. It is Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. I'm Mark Davis. That's Jake Winnikine. This is All About the Balls Podcast, and we are back after a week off from the show. That's right. I went to New Jersey, saw the Yankees dominate the Philadelphia Phillies, actually swept them every day I was there. Got to see Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs Monday night. The Philly crowd was not my best friend, essentially. But Jake, man, how have you been? We're getting right into it. We're in the week 1 of preseason, just 2 nights away, man.
Man, football's here. I'm ready for the Niners to have me miserable for the next 5 months. So it's that time of the year.
I mean, I know how you feel. I'm a Falcons fan, so I haven't had a good season since 2017 when that's last time we made the playoffs, and we beat the Rams that year, and then played Philly tough, and then it's been downhill since for the most part. But no, I mean, the Olympics is going on. We are officially 2 goals ahead of China now, and we're going to win the overall medal count. That's not going to be an issue, but we are overall in the gold section ahead of China. We still have some events to go where we should secure our victory. I don't think China has too much left that they're going to win.
We should have that. We should hopefully have men's and women's basketball and soccer, women's soccer. Those 3 should be gold.
The 4x100 for the women's relay, we should win that one too. And then I think we should.
The 200 for Lyles is Thursday, right?
Yes. Now, he kind of struggled in the heats, but he did the same thing for the 100. He's better the 200, and he makes that turn just like Gabby Thompson. Shout out to Gabby Thompson. She took home the 200. We should be fine. And indoor volleyball, we are playing our rival Brazil in the semifinals. It's literally the last 3 goals has been us 2. So we're playing them around earlier. So we just got to beat the 1 seed, and then the winner of that should win the indoor volleyball.
Brazil's the favorite, right?
They are the 1 seed. Yes, they are the overall 1 seed. But our women's, that Drews girl, man, she's a fucking beast.
Yep.
I saw her a couple of years ago. I didn't realize she was only in college like 8 years ago, but I feel like I've seen her around for like ever.
Yeah, I feel like she has been around forever.
Women's golf, actually, I think China could take, because China's in the top 4 women's ranking, so they have a shot with our girl, Kurita, something like that. Kurita, whatever her name is. But no, man, that's the Olympics is the Olympics. We're gonna win that hopefully. But Jake, man, it's that time, man. We got fantasy football coming up. We were just talking about it before the show, and that's at the end of the month. You have our draft the 25th. You have your other main league the 1st September, Labor Day weekend.
It's time.
It's time. Yeah, I mean, we got some news. We're not going to talk much about Christian McCaffrey, but he announced he's not going to play this preseason.
Yep.
Doesn't need to. I mean, really doesn't.
I was going to say I don't think he's not going to play because of injury. I think it's just he wasn't going to play either way. You don't put McCaffrey out there in the preseason. There's no point.
Kirk Cousins, they announced he's not going to play this preseason. I mean, and I understand. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins is a proven enough veteran. He doesn't need preseason. He can figure it out during training camp. He's going to do joint practices and all that. It's not like he's not practicing. He's still doing his thing.
The only thing with him, I would have loved for him to get a little bit of snaps coming back from the injury before actually being full-blown hit game week 1. You know, like I would have liked a few snaps, but I understand the holdout for sure.
Nothing better than seeing joint practice fights. We saw the Giants and Lions have 2 fights the last 2 days. Daniel Jones got on the action on the Monday fight. Really odd seeing a quarterback.
I think Falcons had some too.
I didn't see any with the Dolphins and Falcons. I mean, I'm not surprised.
I think they had some this morning, I think.
The neighbors did some. I don't know why he slapped the guy in the face, and then they just start swinging. And I still think it's the funniest thing when you're swinging with fists with helmets on. And
they had the foam helmets and helmets.
Yeah.
No one's feeling anything. Idiots.
I don't know what did the neighbors one. I know the other one. The one on Monday was a chippy practice in general. Maybe it was chippy on Tuesday. They didn't show before, but neighbors bad pass, whatever it was. He got up, smacked. I think it was Kirby Joseph in the face, and they just started swinging. I'm like, yo, what the?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but no. Let's talk our first preseason storyline of this week, and that is Friday night. You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing the Houston Texans, and we have a quarterback battle, and that's between Russell Wilson, formerly with the Seahawks and Broncos, and Justin Fields, formerly with the Chicago Bears. And reports are Justin Fields looks good. I know he looked good that those couple of days that Russell was not practicing, but Russell, they said, is the early poll starter for the competition. But Mike Tomlin has been on record saying it's a competition. Now, does that mean that Russell's got the advantage at the moment? Maybe, but they're playing Houston. I mean, over the weeks, we're going to see them too, probably next week as well. But what do you expect out of this quarterback battle? How much playing time will Russell get before Justin comes in? Like, what are we expecting with this quarterback? It's the biggest quarterback battle of the offseason, honestly.
Yeah, and it's a great problem to have for Pittsburgh. I mean, they're two established quarterbacks. I mean, they're not the best, they're not the worst. Like they're decent quarterbacks to have. I think it is Russell Wilson's job to lose at the moment. So I think he is going in as the starter, and he'd have to do really bad, in his little minimal playing time. But I think Fields can beat him out. Everyone's been saying so far in camp, Fields has looked better. He's attached to the offense more. I think it's just going to come down to who plays better this preseason. But either way, I think in the regular season it could be a short leash. I think one bad game, like real bad game, and they're going to swap to the other one right away.
I mean, I still think Pittsburgh's the decent. Like, obviously, like George Pickens is your one. You take it as it is. I mean, I don't think George Pickens is that bad. I think he's better at wide receiver 2. But Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren's not bad. Maybe Pat Freiermuth gets more involved. They do. Who'd they bring? I mean, no, they traded away Deontay Johnson. Oh, they drafted Roman Wilson. I know he's got injury problem right now, but
they always have a defense.
Yeah, defense is stacked. Their O-line,
Patrick. I mean, they still have a defense.
O-line, they invested heavily in the draft in the offseason. I'm impressed with that. I think that, like you said, Russell's gonna have a short leash. I mean, and he's got minimal snaps in preseason. I'm sorry, and I think that's I think it's fine to have. I think maybe if Pittsburgh sees something out of Russell Wilson, maybe have like some packages for him in the regular season. You don't necessarily don't have to play. Or don't have to start Russell Wilson, but you can get him some, like, I know, like Mariota, when he was on the Raiders, they have
Wilson or Fields?
Fields, I'm sorry. Fields gets some special packages, like kind of like Marcus Mariota had with the Raiders back when they had Derek Carr. He was able to have some like running plays, maybe some quick passes, if kind of like a wildcat thing. Fields is dynamic enough to do that. You don't necessarily have to just bench one, but I think, like you said, this team is talented enough that this is a big opportunity for either or. I think Russell's gonna get the start. I think he's gonna get the nod when it's all said and done. I would like to see Fields though get some playing time with the starters week 1. Even if the Texans backups come in, just put Fields in.
I agree. I mean, I'm kind of excited for this battle, honestly, because both are on a 1-year deal. Both have everything to prove. Both want to get paid after this season, so both want to play. Like, I think we're gonna get the best version possible out of each one. And it's going to be fun.
And I know I wasn't the biggest fan of him as a head coach. As a coordinator in Tennessee, Arthur Smith brought out the best in Ryan Tannehill. He brought the best out. And Derrick Henry still thrived since. But he's what woke up Derrick Henry before, because they weren't really utilizing him before Arthur Smith. So I think Arthur Smith is just a coordinator only. Doesn't have to work the team. I think he can bring some good stuff to this team. I'm not saying they're going to be the best offense or whatnot, but I think that these quarterbacks are going to be in a good system with Arthur Smith, with 2 good running backs. So I think Fields could have a good season. I think he'd be a lot better here than Chicago, what Chicago did for him. I really do. And it sucks because now we judged Fields on the first few years in Chicago, which is unfortunate. But Russell wasn't terrible last year. It wasn't the old Russ, but he wasn't terrible.
He was not terrible. No,
he wasn't terrible at all. I mean, the defense sucked for a good part of the year. But I like you said, I'm excited, man. Like on Friday night, this is the NFL Network game, so the Falcons will also be on my. I'll probably have the Falcons on my tablet for preseason. I'll have the Steelers on the big TV because I want to see Russell and Fields. I mean, I'm not missing much out of the Falcons this preseason. I don't care if they're on my tablet or not, but no, I'm excited. Like I said, Fields just needs to get playing time with the starters. You have to leave at least some of the guys in for him. It can't just be second string.
You got to give them the opportunity, even if it's not this game. At least one of the games, you got to give them a chance with the first team for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. I still think Russell's going to win though, but that's just
I do too. Just because he's the leader going in, he's the starter at the moment. So I mean, it would literally take an absolute awful showing in his minimal playing time for Fields to steal the job right away. Well, I'd rather have Fields in that offense, honestly. But it's going to be Russ too. I believe so.
Man, Fields would be. I think he'd be exciting. I honestly do. I
Mm-hmm.
think he'd be like his ability to be mobile with running. He has a good arm. It's just can he actually have receivers that's going to catch it for a line that's going to block for him? That was Chicago's biggest problem. I mean, they had DJ Moore last year, but let's not act like Fields had the best situation the whole time in Chicago he was there. So
yeah,
no. Excited for Friday night, Jake. Another storyline that's been circling around the world is Mr. Brandon Ayuk. You know, you're number one wide receiver at the moment. I know it's a loaded roster, and there was reports coming out that he was going to be signed last week, and now it's been traded. And then you have half people saying he's going to be signed before he gets traded, and then the other half says he's going to be traded before signed. So what's going to happen to Brandon Ayuk? Where's he going to go? What's the situation going on right now with your receiver?
Right now, it's an absolute mess. Like, I've never seen so many credible insiders all in different places. Like, no one's agreeing on anything. Some are saying he's going to stay. Some are saying, he's going to get traded to one of these two teams. Some are saying there's 6 teams. I've never seen everyone not on the same page. Like, it's absolute chaos with Brandon Ayuk right now. He's still showing up every day. I mean, he's sitting in a golf cart and watching practice, but even today, he was still there. He's there. I mean, he doesn't want to lose that. What is it, like $50,000 a day or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, Trent Williams is not there, so he's getting fined. But I don't know. It's absolute chaos. But I think at this point, I mean, even Shanahan did a press conference today after practice, and it pretty much sounded. He's like, we gave him free room to find a trade. So I mean. Now that they're openly saying it, I think Ayuk is gone. Good is gone. But now that they've waited this long and everyone knows that he wants out, we're only going to get 75% of what we should get for him.
I mean, how I feel about it. Like when it comes to like the value, I think he's a stud. But when DeAndre Hopkins got traded from Houston, Hopkins was in his prime. And in return, Houston got a broken down running back in David Johnson and a second-round pick. And I get it. Like Hollywood Brown got a first from the Cardinals, gave the Ravens a first. And I know Tyreek Hill, well-deserving, got a first-rounder. I think Devontae Adams might have gotten a first-rounder as well. I think, Jules, stay tuned. We're actually talking to Malik Neighbors in a few minutes. I think that's going to be the next topic is the Giants. So give us about 5-10 minutes, and we'll be talking about the Giants. But, yeah, when it comes to Ayuk, man, like I would say give up a second. I mean, maybe some players as well. I just don't. I don't know, man, because like Pittsburgh apparently is out, but they're in.
That's what I'm saying. I've never seen so many people not in agreement. Like Rappaport, Schefter, everyone. No one's on the same page. Like no one knows what's going on. It's weird.
I saw a page that I follow on TikTok, and I like watching their clips. I think they have some good takes, some bad takes too, but some good takes. And they said if Mike Tomlin doesn't go after Brandon Ayuk serious enough and Pittsburgh has a bad year, you fire him because this is an opportunity that you get that number one receiver for whichever quarterback you're going to move forward to. And I understand, may not fire him, but like I see what they're saying. You need the opportunity. New England, I think it's a good opportunity for New England to go get Brandon Ayuk, pair him with Drake May, pair him with Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. 2 receivers I'm interested in as young guys that can learn from Brandon Ayuk, who's been a proven vet. He's been the number 2 target on the 49ers after Christian McCaffrey, of course. I just think that one of these teams, Cleveland's weird because of the Cooper situation. If he gets traded to San Francisco, then Cooper's going to be gone potentially. It's the same scenario. I just don't know if Cleveland's really that serious.
And Cooper's 30. Brandon Ayuk's 26. I mean, that's, we're taking on an older receiver that could walk at the end of the year. Like it's one of those things where we only get 75% of what he's worth. But
I love Cooper. I just feel like he disappears a lot. He really it just feels like he does.
Mm-hmm.
I will say before we talk more about Brandon, Jules, the Hard Knocks on the Giants. I actually said this. I'm not a big Hard Knocks fan. Now that I have Tony's account, I'm going to probably start watching it. The new one for the Bears comes tonight. But the Giants edition of Hard Knocks, I actually was very interested in because it showed behind the scenes. It showed what the GMs, the coaching staff, the owner. I mean, fucking Mara looked like this is no disrespect towards Joe Biden, our president. But like when Joe Biden was walking through the sidewalk at the White House and he was supposed to turn right and he went through the bushes, looked lost. That's how John Mara looked whenever they got Saquon Barkley on the Eagles. He just looked so defeated. I like it though. It's a very unique take. I hope they do it next year. Very bold that the Giants did it because you're putting yourself in that situation where you're like Daniel Jones said he hated it because he got shitted on. Now that's part of that's part of it though. But I loved it. I love that Hard Knocks edition of it.
Yeah, and one last thing about Ayuk is I think it ends up being the Steelers. My best guess, if he's traded, is the Steelers. He wants to play there. Steelers want him. I think Steelers end up getting a package that we want. And then Ayuk will agree quickly because that's where he wants to play.
Yeah, he wants Pittsburgh or Washington. He wants those two teams. He
wants Pittsburgh, and Washington's already out. Everyone's saying that Washington's out, so I believe that they're probably out. But Steelers will end up getting a package that that we like, and Ayuk will sign with them quick because that's where he wants to go. I think that's where it ends up being.
Man, if he goes to Pittsburgh, I mean that division's already arguably the best division in football. Let's be honest. But if Pittsburgh gets Brandon Ayuk, like I would not count Pittsburgh out of winning that division. I honestly would not. If the quarterback play between Russell and Fields, the O-line we talked about, I like the weapons. You put Pickens at the 2. You have Ayuk 1, Freiermuth, that defense with TJ Watt. I still think one of the best defensive players in the NFL, the best pass rusher in the NFL, in my opinion. You have that defense there. Pittsburgh is set in place to maybe surpass Cincinnati and Baltimore this year. But we got to see what all they give up. Like you mentioned Fitzpatrick. If they go Fitzpatrick, that's also a big loss too.
Man, I would love that. I mean, it'd be dumb for them too because they're so stacked. But I mean, what else would we want? We want a player, so I just don't know what.
Because if Pittsburgh gets him, they're not going to be in the top half of the draft. They're going to be in the bottom or like the second half of each round. So if you get like a second round,
the pick won't be as valuable because Pittsburgh's not going to be one of the worst teams.
Yeah, Pittsburgh might have given a first to be honest because they know they'll be somewhere in the 20s that first round.
Could be a first, but I still think we want a player. And we don't really have any. They don't have any receivers that they would give us. So I'd ask for Minka, man. You want Ayuk bad? Give me Minka.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tomlin needs to pull the trigger. He needs to tell the GM. Mm-hmm. I think it's. I forgot his name. He's a newer. I mean, he's been on a couple of years, but that GM and Mike Tomlin, they have to pull the trigger. I mean, it's just a good opportunity for them. I mean, it helps.
Yeah, I think they do. Everyone was reporting after Rappaport said it, everyone started reporting, well, yeah, Steelers called back today and they're back in it. Everyone tried to fix their mistake or whatever, but Pittsburgh's been on the phone all day. Supposedly right after Niners practice, Steelers were already on the phone.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Patriots too. Maybe they ship Judon.
Well, they've already agreed to a deal with Patriots, but Ayuk hasn't agreed to join the Patriots. But the package that's going to be sent to the Niners agreed with.
So it's depending on if Ayuk he wants to see what Pittsburgh's going to keep doing first. He wants to see what the other two teams, maybe DC comes back into play. Because I saw another thing, if it keeps going longer and longer, these other teams might jump in because man, it's been a few weeks now. Let's go put our name in the hat and let's see what we can swindle. And maybe Ayuk falls in love with us as well. I mean, you never know.
Or who knows? I mean, hopefully not. But someone could get injured in practice on a team and they need a receiver right away. Stuff can happen. But I mean, from what everyone's saying, Patriots are willing to make him top 5 highest paid receiver.
Oh, they have the money too. Why not? And then, I saw one today. The Chargers should be a team calling for him. You put him with Justin Herbert. That's Lad McConkey. That's amazing right there. That's a good 1-2 punch. I think Lad's going to be good. I don't think Ayuk Jules is going to go to the Ravens. They don't have the money. It's I mean. I think with what they're paying out there, it's just not going to work. And the Ravens don't normally go for good young receivers. They go for proven older receivers like Quan Bolden and, Odell Beckham, whatnot. But, I just don't think
I was going to say, supposedly the Ravens are really high on Bateman, how he looks in his training camp too. So
I've seen that. I've seen the reports that he looks good.
They're pretty excited about Bateman this year taking off. So
and they still have Zay Flowers. I mean, second year for him. He's a young cat. And we know Mark Andrews is the number one weapon out there.
And they got a decent running back, I guess. I mean,
Derrick Henry is a really good running back. But Jake, let's talk about it, man. We could talk just Giants in general. So let's talk about what's going on with them. I mean, you have Daniel Jones. He's coming back from his torn ACL. He wants to play preseason right now. He respects what Brian Daboll's decision is going to be. You have Malik Neighbors out here balling in practice.
Balling.
I mean, I was watching that Hard Knocks. I like the moves, actually, that they did. I know it wasn't the biggest and sexiest names, but the O-line, they got guys that are proven. Can they stay healthy? That's the question. Brian Burns, very, very good decision there. The Giants are a team I'm looking at this preseason with Daniel Jones. If you get the rust off, because he's looked a little sloppy. I mean, I get it. You haven't played in a while, competitive football. But Malik Neighbors has been balling. Starting fights, too, but balling. I mean, what do you expect from the Giants this preseason? Do you think Daniel Jones plays? How much does Malik Neighbors get time with him in these games?
I think knowing the Giants, I think Daniel Jones is going to play some. I don't know how much, but he needs to. I mean, Neighbors looks like the real deal. He's a dog. I mean, he's torching these corners. You look at these passes he's catching. I mean, it's phenomenal. He looks really good. He doesn't have those rookie jitters. He's getting in these corners' faces. I love it that he's don't be swinging on these dudes with freaking helmets on. But
don't break your hand. Do it. Yeah.
I love the aggression. I love him talking smack like he's one of the boys. Like I think he's gonna be really, really good.
I know Chris is biased. He's an LSU guy, but he always thought Malik Neighbors was better than Marvin Harrison in college.
He did say it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. Like I mean, and I'm not a big Daniel Jones guy, but hey, respect him for going in that huddle and trying to fight for his boys. I get he's not gonna guarantee to start next year, so he's doing it to also show he's a team player. Patty Mahomes or Kirk Cousins or any of these quarterbacks that is going to be there long term, they're not going to do that because they're playing for a few years, not the 1 year. But I know Jules is talking about, Drew Lock. Now that's a thing too. I want to see this Drew Lock playing time in preseason. I think that Drew Lock, I know he had a lot of potential coming out of Denver, or coming into Denver as a rookie, and it never worked out. Seattle, he didn't get a lot of playing time. It was Geno's team when it was all said and done. But yeah, Drew Lock's going to be playing some key minutes too.
What about if Giants called the Steelers about whichever quarterback doesn't make the starting job?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean,
I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, they're both going to be a free agent. Steelers aren't signing both of them. Whoever they make their clear-cut starter.
Well, remember there were rumors that Fields could have gone to New York before he went to Pittsburgh. So I mean, and it's always funny that I was actually watching the draft spectacular for the Pat McAfee show 2021 yesterday. The Giants were part of the Fields draft process. Yep. They traded away with the Bears. Bears got Justin Fields, and then he was linked to them this offseason. But no, I mean, it's not a bad idea. But Danny Dimes is the guy that my eyes are on. I mean, I want to see him preseason.
But Daniel Jones and the guy in the same sentence is just not it.
No, yeah, he's not the guy. Jules, I don't know how you feel. You are a Giants fan. I don't know if you feel he is the guy going forward. I know he had that crazy 1 year, good rushing, didn't turn the ball over, playoff win over the Vikings. I thought that was more Brian Daboll putting him in the right situation, and it sucks because they got him paid. And that was a John Mara situation. That wasn't a Joe Sheen or Joe Shine and Daboll. That was the owner. The owner wanted him paid. Now they're in that situation where they had to get rid of Barkley, but
I mean, losing Barkley is going to be huge for Daniel Jones. He was like his security blanket.
Singletary's his replacement now.
Yeah, that's terrible.
He was decent for a few.
Yeah, no.
So he said healthy Danny Dimes, great game manager. I just don't. I'm not high, but I want to see him though. I do want to see him this preseason. Like I said, he looked sloppy the first week or two in training camp. It's good to see what's going to happen. But yeah, Drew Lock, Malik Neighbors, I still think he is a dog. I mean,
I hope Daniel Jones proves us wrong and we look like idiots right now. I really do. I want to see Neighbors succeed, and in order to do that, he's got to have a quarterback. So I mean, I hope he does ball out. But if you ask me right now, Daniel Jones is just not it.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, but Malik Neighbors though, I think he's good enough that any quarterback he can play. Like he's one of those talent out there that I think he can thrive with any quarterback. Is he going to go have 110 catches his rookie year, close to what Jalen Waddle had with Tua? Probably not. Can he go get 75, 80 catches his rookie season, post 1,000+ yards and maybe 8 TDs? Yeah, I can still see that. I really can.
Can he put up better stats than Marvin Harrison?
I think Marvin Harrison's in a situation where he will have better numbers because the quarterback is more proven, even though I'm not a Kyler Murray fan. I just think that that's the situation is because – and I honestly think that the Cardinals also have – I mean, the Cardinals have a lot more too. The running game's there with James Conner. I like the Trey Benson pickup. I know you're not as high on that one, but Trey McBride. I mean, Marvin Harrison's going to have a little more opportunity to be opened up on the Giants. It's really just Malik Neighbors. Yeah, you have Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton and maybe Theo, I think Johnson's his name, the Penn State rookie tight end that they were high on. Maybe he plays some good numbers. I mean, do I think he has better numbers in the career? Yeah, potentially. I don't know about rookie season, though. It's
rookie season. That's why I want a rookie season.
Do I want him to do better? Yeah, because Marvin Harrison's a bitch and won't fucking sign his license, man. Like, I mean, people can't even buy a jersey unless you go to DHgate or these, Chinese websites. Can't even buy a jersey.
And Jules, Waller retired so he can take up his R&B and rap career, which is horrible.
Yeah, that's why Jules, they drafted the Penn State tight end, and he's apparently a stud. I mean, the Penn State doesn't really use, like, they're more of a running attack in Penn State, but yeah, he looked pretty good. And also, Darren Waller also chose the game for his ex-wife too, over his ex-wife, and missed opportunity there. Kelsey Plum.
Yeah. He's
man.
He's an idiot. He messed up his relationship with her, and his rap is horrible. Should have stuck with the NFL. I don't know what he's doing.
No, I mean, but no, the Giants, as much as we shit on them, Jules, and all the Giants fans that are going to be listening to this, they are in the spotlight, and they are a team we actually want to see. They have players on there. Like I said, I'm excited to see Malik Neighbors. I want to see Brian Burns on this defense. Xavier McKinney, yes, he's gone, but they replaced him with Tyler Nubin from Minnesota. Like they have young players I'm actually interested in. I mean, that's the thing. It's the young players I'm interested in. Hopefully the quarterback hits one day because we want to see Malik Neighbors ball out. Mm-hmm. I want to see like what Odell did with them. I want to see Malik Neighbors have some good years like Odell did. That was the last superstar receiver that the Giants had. That was with Eli, though, but I would like to see it.
If we're calling Odell a superstar.
He was a superstar at one point. Yeah, as much as we didn't like the diva attitude, he was a superstar.
He had a catch or nobody would know his name.
That was still one of the greatest catches of all time. Yeah, I mean, it was still. Where do you want to move to next, man? Obviously, like the preseason is mainly for like these rookies. I mean, we can talk a little Caleb. I mean, we got some Bears action last year. Last week, I mean, with the Hall of Fame game, it looks like Roshan Johnson's the running back 2. Khalil Herbert's running back 3. Obviously, DeAndre Swift. But, man, it's going to be exciting to see. Hopefully, Keenan Allen plays this week with them. I want to see the trio together in Chicago this weekend.
I know. Has anyone said if he's going to play or not? I haven't heard.
I haven't seen if they're playing or not. I figured that they would because it's the first preseason game. Maybe do they play like 2 drives? Well, we'll talk Titans next because actually, Will Levis is a name that we can talk about with Hopkins being hurt 4 to 6 weeks. Actually, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll talk Titans next. But, yeah, Caleb Williams and the Bears, I just want to see the offense. I mean, the defense is kind of –
I mean, I read something that did he go like 100 straight passes without an interception or something in training camp? Or I was reading something. I didn't dig too much into it, but I think he went over 100 passes without throwing an interception.
I'm telling you, man, I get it. No one liked his attitude, and people will say, I want him to flop. I think he's just set up in the perfect situation. It's hard to fail. I mean, even if he has a bad preseason game, man, I'm not worried. Like if it's a slow start because, yeah, he's young, but I mean, like this wasn't the worst team last year. People act like, the Bears suck. They were a 7-win team with a terrible situation, and then you bring in Keenan Allen, you bring in Roma Duze, and you bring in Shane Waldron as your offensive coordinator, and you load up on the running. Yeah, it's not like
it's not often that a team that a number 1 pick goes to a stacked team. It's almost like the year that Jimmy G went down and the Niners got Bosa. We were a stacked team, but because they lost our quarterback, we were one of the worst teams, and we ended up getting Bosa on a stacked roster already. It's kind of like one of those situations. Like that roster is not, like the Cardinals when they suck every year and they get a quarterback. It's not like that team is stacked.
This isn't the Panthers last year when they drafted Bryce Young and they had Adam Thielen as number 1, an aging Adam Thielen. When you got DJ Moore now and Keenan Allen and Roma Duze, you have fucking Cole Kmet, a good running attack. I think. I mean, an O-line they invested in, a defense that was top 10 last year when they got Montez Sweat, Jalen Johnson. Shout out to him. He called it Aaron Rodgers. Respected respected what he said, to be honest, because he's not wrong. He's a top 100 player, but the criteria is he should have been, but the players chose Aaron Rodgers and a couple other names like Joe Burrow, who didn't play him a lot last year. But no, I mean, it's an exciting team, man. I really think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's very. I'm so excited to watch him. Like, obviously, I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan at all, but the situation that he's going into, it's a perfect situation. He would literally have to be horrible for this roster to not succeed. Like, I mean, absolutely awful, because like it's there. If they stay healthy, all the way across the board, Keenan Allen, everybody. Like, I think it's gonna be fun.
I still think if they don't make a wild card spot, I still think it's a bad year because of the talent they have.
Absolutely, this team's playoff or bust. If they're not, I mean, it's a terrible season. They don't make the playoffs.
I'm not saying Caleb has to go throw 45 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Yeah. A good year for him, and just go throw 30 and 10. That's still 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Be the first 4,000-yard passer. That's a good season. Get a wild card spot. I'm still high on Detroit. So, but if you tell me Chicago wins the division, I would not be surprised. Now, I think Detroit's the best team in the NFC, but I would not be shocked if Chicago ends up winning this division. I'm really not. I would not be baffled at all. I really think this is a good team.
You think Detroit's the best team in the NFC?
I told you they're getting the 1 seed when we did our over-under for all these teams. I have you all the same record, but I have them winning Week 17 and San Francisco, the revenge game, and that's I have Houston at the moment and Detroit, the 1 seeds in each side. Man,
I'm excited about Houston too.
Yes, that's another team, but
that's a whole yeah.
Let's move on to the Titans because that's what we got requested. I mean, Will Levis is his first true season as a starter, and he goes into preseason knowing he is the starter for the long term. Shout out to Will Levis too. People rooting for him. You can go Google why we're rooting for him, but we're also rooting for Will Levis because of he's got a cannon. Let's just say he's got a cannon. But Hopkins out 4 to 6 weeks. That's kind of pivotal in my opinion. Hopefully he's ready for Week 1 because I think Hopkins and Ridley and Boyd can be one of the better trios receiving wise in the NFL. And I wanted to see that in preseason, just a few snaps here and there.
Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing Hopkins. That's already established. But I mean, the goal they say is for him to be ready Week 1, but it's 4 to 6 weeks, and they're still wondering if surgeries, are going to be needed, or who knows if this lingers. I don't know. This could be bad for Hopkins' season. Of course, he's on my dynasty team that I just picked up, but
and he had a good rapport last year with Levis when Levis came in. Obviously, the first game he came in, he had 3 touchdowns on the Falcons. I mean,
especially now he'll have some opportunities too. There's it's got Ridley, like he'll be open. He's not going to be the only focus of the passing game, so it should help him.
Yeah, he's not Hopkins of the old, but man, he's still a 1,000-yard receiver last year with that quarterback situation that they had.
Yeah, he's never had a quarterback in his career. I feel bad for the guy.
Titans, though, we talked about it when we did the AFC South. I think the Titans are a sleeper team in the AFC. Not a sleeper team to go win the AFC, but a sleeper team to maybe make the playoffs. It's just an interesting team because new coach with Callahan, offensive mindset comes from that, that young style of play that everyone does. I think a good offense. The defense I'm a little concerned about, but no, the Titans, man, like I wanted to see them. I wanted to see the trio together this preseason, but Hopkins is a pro. He's a proven pro. He doesn't need preseason too. He's more like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, we're not worried about him not playing the preseason. I'm just worried about the injury lingering. Like, I'm not worried about him not playing preseason at all. I'm just, I don't want to be this all season long. It's nagging injury, in and out type of thing.
I wouldn't be happy about that, Jules. That their DC was not the Titans DC the last couple of years was not that good, honestly. No. Now it doesn't help that they were cleaning house, so kind of an unproven too, in my opinion. The Titans were cleaning house. So,
and I mean, the whole offense is gonna be different, which is exciting because it used to be just give the ball to Henry. Now you got a new coach with offensive mind. Like, we're gonna have hopefully an actual offense. But I mean, Tannehill was going to the playoffs with 5 passes. Like it was literally the Henry show. So I'm excited for them to actually have an offense. We can see what they can do. That defense is a major question mark. So I don't think they're going to do anything too big. But I mean, hey, it'd be awesome for them to sneak in a wild card or something. But
yeah, I mean, AFC South in general. I mean, when we talked about them, Jaguars are a weird team, man. Like they start off hot last year, and then So it's like, what Jaguars are we going to get? We're going to get the first half, we're going to get the second half. Houston. Colts are a team no one knows because we don't know what Anthony's going to be.
Yeah.
I think AR, I didn't think he looked like a superstar his first 4 games, but he looked decent in my opinion. I mean, so the South and the AFC.
He needs to learn how to slide.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. He likes to put that hit on some people.
But as a franchise quarterback, you can't be taking those hits. You got to get down.
Because he'll have like Cam Newton with that shoulder issue, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. What about Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, let's talk. He was announced as the starter for this season. I mean, rightfully so. I don't think Mariota was the answer. I mean, for the Commanders. Yeah. So Jaden Daniels, yes, is the starter for the Washington Commanders. I think it's the right decision. I mean, I think he is I thought he was the best quarterback in this draft class. I think if he went to Chicago, he would do the same thing I think Caleb's going to do, maybe even better. But that's not a shot at Caleb. I just think that Jaden Daniels is. I think he's good, man. I think it's a good situation too. I think him and Terry McLaurin can be good. I would really like to see Ayuk go to DC. I really would. I would like to see him play with his former. Like to see with his former quarterback at Arizona State.
Yeah, they're like BFFs too. They've been playing together all offseason. They've been, together. I would like him to go to AFC so I don't have to deal with him. But if he was going to Washington, it'd be fun. And I'm in agreement with you. I think Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in the draft. I think it's going to be exciting. He has been announced as the starter, so we'll see. I mean, I don't think that roster is built for him to be dangerous, year one. But I hope he shines for sure. And Jules, the Jags might be playing in Orlando.
Yeah, that's all. There's a few
2 spots. It's down to 2 spots: Gainesville or Orlando.
So they play in the swamp
somewhere. Yeah, maybe it's Gainesville. It says Gainesville.
It's not very big. I mean,
but Gainesville's a whole lot closer for the Jags fans, right?
Yeah, it's a little close. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah,
because Orlando is about 3 or 4 hours from Jacksonville. Swamp is, I think, right there. But Jaden Daniels, though, first that they play the Jets, so that's a pretty good defense if they're playing some starters for a few series to kind of get a good feel of the guy. And they're one of the top defenses last year, so if he could play pretty good against them in part of I'm saying 2 or 3 series, it's good to get that good playing time from him. Another rookie, Jake, Michael Penix Jr. We're gonna get a lot of Michael Penix Jr. this preseason, and the reports are, the videos are, he's got a good connection with Darnell Mooney, with Drake London. I think Kyle Pitts is going to thrive with either of these quarterbacks because I think both quarterbacks can use a Kyle Pitts. So I'm interested to see Michael Penix for these 3 games that we're going to get of him. We're going to get some probably good playing time from him. Maybe a quarter here and there, or maybe one of these games, maybe even a half. I mean, you have nothing to lose. He's the backup. It's not Kirk Cousins.
Oh, absolutely. It's already confirmed Cousins is playing in it preseason. So who knows about, this first game, but at least game 2, maybe 3. I think we might get a half out of him, which would be fun. And watch them fall out, and then everyone's like freaking out because you got a stud on the bench.
Jules, I don't know where he says 16K. Ben Hill Griffith Stadium fits 88,000 plus.
He's saying 16,000 more seats.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I read that wrong. Yeah, that college stadiums they are bigger than.
Citrus Bowl is big, but just not as big as a Swamp.
Yeah, college stadiums in general. Yeah, college stadiums in general are just like. I mean, it's probably it's definitely bigger than the Jaguars. I mean, college stadiums are just typically bigger than the NFL stadiums. It's just the way it is. It's also bleachers. Are like most of the seats bleachers in college too? It's like you probably fit more people rather than just seats.
I mean, the only cool part about it, because you're going to have Florida games on Saturdays, so you can't really make it your own stadium. If you do Camping World, you can make it your own. You could put up Jaguars gear everywhere. Like they can make it their own stadium. Yeah, but they're going to have to. I mean, they're going to be switching off Saturdays and Sundays with Florida. It's going to be like a chaos.
Yeah, because the walls are going to be orange and blue.
Absolutely, it's not going to feel like their own stadium. I mean,
Yeah,
they'll put up some banners maybe or something, and take them down. But Camping World, that the whole time they're there, they can just make it their own stadium.
Yeah, you get the home field effect. And
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels back in fantasy too. He's an interesting one. Like I think when it came to quarterbacks, I think I had him in my like tier 3 discussion. I mean, I wouldn't touch Nate. He's a Russian quarterback, so maybe you can't take a chance on him compared to like a Brock Purdy or Kirk Cousins because he's going to get that rushing ability. It's just the unknown of what he's going to do throwing the ball because it's just Terry McLaurin. It seems like they have a tight end out of K-State too, Ben Sinnett. So maybe people are high on him.
I mean, his stock will skyrocket if somehow Brandon Ayuk falls there.
Oh yeah, if Ayuk goes there, you can maybe definitely wait on quarterback. Let the Mahomes go. Him before Dimes. I mean, if I know Daniel Jones can run the ball again, so Daniel Jones is a fantasy quarterback. I mean, when he's healthy.
I'm 100% taking Jaden Daniels over Danny Dimes. I wouldn't be surprised if Danny Dimes not even drafted in most leagues.
Well, Jules, I'm in a league with Jules, so he might do a pity pick out of him if he's towards the end, just to.
I guess. I mean, if you have a diehard Giants fan, I guess as their second quarterback or something. But I could guarantee probably some of my leagues he's not even drafted.
I mean, he's interesting because if he's healthy, yeah, the running ability is there for him. So like it's there, but
he doesn't trip over his own feet.
Yeah, that long run. Yeah, he took away a touchdown from whoever had him in the starting lineup that week. That was a long run too.
It was.
Any other names, Jake, out there for preseason that the Raiders quarterback battle, our buddy Ali, shout out to him. He's a Raiders fan. That quarterback battle looks like shit at the moment. Both quarterbacks are playing terrible in training camp.
I got two. I mean, one's a rookie, one's not. Raiders, yeah, it's garbage. They're both pathetic. Devontae Adams is going to be on the bench punching himself in the face because it's absolutely pathetic.
He's a Jet before the trade deadline.
He's somewhere.
He's
bad.
He needs to be traded.
I feel so bad for that guy. He's wasted last year with Jimmy G. Now he's got just as bad. I mean, it's bad. Like he only signed with the Raiders because they had his freaking BFF car and they trade him away. What a mess for Adams. Raiders are just pathetic. But also
free Adams.
Slim Shady's returning. Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah. Oh, is he playing preseason?
No, but still something to talk about. He's returning. What do we think? He might. So I haven't seen.
I saw a thing where you said, or it was either you or Luke. I think it was you. You said, when Lamar's healthy, it's only when Lamar's hurt. That's only when Joe Burrow can win the AFC North. When Joe Burrow is hurt, that's the only time he's lost the AFC North. So I mean, something's got to give this year, right? If he's healthy, I don't know, man. Like I think Joe Burrow is still good enough to. No. Josh Allen over Joe Burrow any day of the week. No,
absolutely.
I don't care. Like I don't care about the Josh Allen interceptions. I mean, yes, they can be troublesome, but I saw a stat like Peyton Manning, his first few years, he was leading the league in interceptions. I literally call Josh Allen a modern day Brett Favre minus the MVPs. He's the same style player that Brett Favre was in Green Bay. He's a gunslinger. He throws it up there. He runs the ball when he needs to. He's obviously more athletic with running the ball than Brett Favre, but he's the same style as Brett Favre. He wins you more games than he loses you games. I mean, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen is the reason why the Bills are good. I still think that they're going to be a decent team. They're going to be competitive. But they're not.
They trade away all his receivers.
I still think he's good enough to. I still think he's good enough to potentially get you 9 wins, 10 wins this year. I'm high on Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. James Cook was really good when Joe Brady took over as offensive coordinator. He's the coordinator still, so we'll see. But Joe Burrow, Josh Allen with the Chiefs team, is that a time? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know because I don't know, man. Like I don't know if it depends on if Josh came in as a Chiefs right away, maybe not because. They had to like Mahomes was already kind of ready for the NFL.
Mahomes just he wins some of them games single handedly, and Josh Allen wouldn't be doing that.
Like, does Mahomes win or does Josh Allen win last year with that team? I mean, 2 years ago, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if anyone besides Mahomes wins the last 2 years.
oh yeah, I mean, Mahomes is the number one player in the league. The players got it wrong. I don't.
The roster he had last year had no business being in the Super Bowl, let alone winning it.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow with him in the AFC in this season, I think it's a good team, man. Like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins is on a prove-it year, so I think T. Higgins is going to go out there and ball out. They did bring in Zach Moss, no Joe Mixon, but yeah, Slim Shady's back. I think. I mean, if you give Patrick Mahomes the 2020 Bills like Josh Allen had with Stephon Diggs, I think Mahomes is fine, honestly.
I think he still wins.
Because their defense was already, so the Chiefs' defense has only been good the last couple of years. The Bills' defense was already prime and ready to go when Josh Allen was coming in. And honestly, the defense has been good every year that Josh Allen's been there. Even with the injuries, they've been a good defense.
And Burrow, I want him to be healthy so bad. I want him to be healthy this season.
Yeah.
Like prove me wrong. I'm the biggest Burrow hater. I'm not a fan.
Since day one.
It's no secret since day one, absolutely. He's not proven me wrong yet. Yeah, he made a freaking bowl game. He didn't win. But freaking Jimmy G's been to the Super Bowl. Let's not give Burrow his credit yet.
Yeah, but I will say Burrow's playoffs. Yeah, Burrow's playoff stats are very, very underachieving. He's only had one good playoff game against the Bills the year that Damar Hamlin died and came back to life, and then he had a good half against the Chiefs. That one that they actually did go to the Super Bowl. He's not a good playoff quarterback. It's really not.
Yeah, I wanted to be healthy so bad. Like this is it. This is his chance. Prove me wrong. Show up this season. Do something. Like stay healthy. I don't want the excuse of me too. Like just play. Like I want to see what the Bengals are. Let's get it out of the way. We could just end it right here and there.
I want to see him play preseason, man. They're not going to probably because
he's too injury prone. He's not going to play.
I mean, I don't know, but in the Bengals window though, in Joe Burrow's window for right now, I mean, that year they went to the Super Bowl, and the year following where they win the AFC Championship and they blew the AFC Championship against the Chiefs when they were up big, like decent in the first half. That was their little 2-year window that you had to cash in and you had to go in there and win because they had the Chiefs on the ropes and then they got there and then the O-line. I mean, I will give him some little like fucking pushback a little bit because the O-line has been atrocious. I don't know why the Bengals can't figure it out. I don't know what's going on.
It's not that they can't figure it out. They're not even trying. They don't ever work on the O-line. It makes no sense. Yeah. They don't go work on the O-line after you see how bad it is. But I know all about blowing leads to the Chiefs, so I know how he feels. But
I mean, but they had the Rams on the ropes, and that was the year that like me and Chris say that was the worst O-line that a quarterback took to a Super Bowl. And I'll give him some credit there. He was getting banged around all year and all playoffs. So the fact that he made the playoffs, okay, it's pretty cool. But yeah, regular season, he's a regular season quarterback. He really is. But it's the playoffs that he needs to step it up. And that's why you said he hasn't lived up to that number one pick yet.
No, he hasn't. And I never said he wasn't NFL deserving. I said he wasn't worth the number one pick. I said all along he does not deserve to be the number one pick. He hasn't proved me wrong yet. I'm still not a fan.
He was in the draft class with Tua, Jordan Love, and Herbert.
He could have been in the draft class with Trey Lance. I don't care who he was. He could have been the first quarterback taken. That's fine. But he was not worth the number one pick. The number one overall is what I'm saying. Like he was not deserving of that.
What's going on, Patrick? Yeah, we're just talking a little preseason storylines. Teams were like interested to see if they play guys. Not sure you have a team or a player you want us to talk about, but yeah, we talked about a little bit the Bengals, a little bit the Giants, the Raiders quarterback, the Steelers quarterback camp battles. We talked about Michael Penix a little bit since he's going to get a lot of playing time with Kirk Cousins being announced not playing. Brandon Ayuk, we talked Brandon Ayuk a little bit.
What about Drake May and Brissett battle?
Well, I'm pretty sure Brissett's going to be the starter.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm saying, how long? What do you think?
Well, the rumors are that Joe Milton is looking so good. I I'm not saying he's not looking good, but I think that Joe Milton's competing for.
I agree with you, Patrick. Jaden's a baller.
Yeah, we were just talking about Jay Daniels being a hell of a player. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft class. But when it comes to Drake May, I think Joe Milton, I think Joe Milton is the third string. I think that's what he's competing for. He's competing with Bailey Zappi to be third string, the emergency quarterback.
I agree with. I think that's how the season's going to start. But do you think that's how the season's going to end?
No, I think that Drake May will get playing time somewhere, but it's hard because normally when these rookie quarterbacks come in and if they don't play right away, there's a bye week kind of in there, like following like a Thursday night somewhere. The Patriots don't have that. They have a late bye week. Yeah, they could maybe play him after a Thursday night game, give him that like week and a half game plan. But there's no like bye week that you can just implement them like that and give him like an extra week, of prep time. So,
and if they go to full tank mode by the bye week, I mean, do you even throw him out there at that point, or do you just give him the?
I would.
Milton.
No, I'd put Drake in because it's good playing time for him. It's good like learning, even though like you're not in playoff contention. It's still NFL action. It's still NFL speed. So you are learning. You learn more when you play. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're doing it. I think they're doing it right. Playing Brissett. I think Brissett is a good bridge quarterback. I think Jacoby's a good guy to learn from. Obviously, he's not the best quarterback, but he's been in the league a while. He's been on some teams starting, so he knows how to mentor somebody. I think it's good to learn from him.
I think we're going to see him preseason. May's going to play.
Oh yeah, he's playing preseason.
What if he balls out?
I mean,
these are all hypotheticals.
I mean, it's true because like the year that Russell Wilson was drafted, Matt Flynn was the starter.
Yeah,
they paid him more than they paid Jacoby Brissett to come to New England. The Seahawks paid him.
Everyone knows what Brissett is. We know what we're getting. You know what he is. There's no, that's it. Like, but what if May goes in there and balls out?
Then you might have to be forced to play him. I mean, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If he's head shoulder above everyone. Go play him. I mean, you get more learning time when you're actually playing because you're actually playing. You can critique your gameplay. You can actually watch the film. You can see what you need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Smith with Mahomes. I think Alex Smith was. We knew what we had with Alex Smith in Kansas City, but Alex Smith was a guy that proved himself enough to get to the NFC Championship. He made playoff runs with the Chiefs and the Niners. So. Excuse me, that I think it was a little different. I think Andy Reid made it known he was going to sit all year. That was a known thing. I think Andy Reid knew from the get-go Mahomes was going to sit.
And I agree with Patrick. It's best for May to sit at least half the season. I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, Brissett's not that good. So if May looks amazing in the preseason, I don't know how you don't play him. But my personal opinion, I would at least half the season, if not the full season, let May sit. But I'm just saying, if he goes into preseason and balls out and the whole world's talking about Drake May and you go throw Brissett in there who's mediocre at best, it's just a bad look. So, I mean, I would love for the controversy. I would love for Drake May to go ball out.
And we get to see Drake May this Thursday. He's one of the first two games playing Carolina. So we get to see Drake May, and it's on the NFL Network too. So that's their Thursday night game that the NFL Network's going to be playing. So we will get to see him pretty early. He's going to be the first rookie quarterback we get to see this preseason. So, yeah, I'm excited to see Drake May and Joe Milton because, Alan, our local Patriots guy in here, I know he's not going to be on the show for a while, but he keeps fucking riding up Joe Milton and he keeps hyping him up and all this stuff. And I know Luke drafted him in Dynasty and put him on his bench or his taxi squad, which I don't blame him for that. That's a long-term investment. Maybe he go somewhere else. But so Joe Milton and Drake May, two rookies on the Patriots that, we're going to see this Thursday night. And shit, if that's in Carolina, I might fucking go to it. It's going to be dirt cheap, actually.
Probably free, basically.
I mean, shit, the way that the Carolina Panthers are.
Yeah.
That's in New England.
No.
Stars. Darn it. I might have thought about going. I mean, why not?
Right.
I have a buddy in my office. He's from South Carolina. He's a Panthers fan. So, hey, man, it's $20, $30. We can get decent seats. Let's just go to the game. But no, I mean, we didn't talk Bo Nix. I mean, he's the third string. For some reason, it was all training camp. He was looking like he was going to be at least the 1 or 2. And he was arguably being the 1. And now all of a sudden, he's a third string coming into the first preseason game. So I'm confused on what Sean Payton's doing. I don't believe in Sean Payton, honestly, but I'm confused on
Sean Payton fan at all.
I think he's a good. I thought he was a good coach in New Orleans. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the game. I don't like what he's doing strategy wise in Denver. I don't like anything that's happened that he's came in.
I think it's a gimmick. I think Bo Nix is going to be the starter. The quarterbacks above him right now are garbage. There's no way that you can. I mean, Bo Nix would have to be absolutely. I haven't seen any film or heard anything about training camp about him or anything, but I mean, he would have to be absolutely pathetic in practice and training camp right now to not be the starter. You can't tell me Zach Wilson or them are better than him.
Stidham's the starter going into week 1.
Yeah, and then Wilson and then him listed as third string. There's no way.
Yeah, Patrick, if you start watching more often, you'll see Luke. He's on our show too. He agrees with you. Sean Payton, he's always said it's man overrated, but then that opens the door where if Sean Payton's overrated, then I think, of course, then you got to start opening the door for Mike Tomlin, Mike McCarthy, John Harbaugh. Those guys have to start becoming a little overrated because they're all the same resume. I mean, so
he had Drew Brees to carry him. I mean, I agree with that last comment.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't know. I mean, until he proves otherwise, it's hard to say he's elite. He had Drew Brees.
Sean Payton gets that little bit of boost because he was under Bill Parcells for a little bit too in Dallas. So he gets a little bit like that's why people also are high on him as well because in Dallas, I guess
he gets
they were decent.
That street cred.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but when it comes to Bo Nix, like I said, Sunday they're the 1 p.m. game. They're the second to last game of the week against the Colts. So we'll see him. I want to see Bo Nix play. I don't want to see him with the third string. I don't want to see him with the third string.
I know. That's just setting him up for failure, and then he's not going to look good.
As a Commanders fan, actually, Patrick, how do you feel about Dan Quinn, man? Just throw in the chat. How do you feel about Dan Quinn as your new head coach? Coming there, former Cowboys coordinator, Seahawks coordinator, Falcons head coach, blew a 28-3 lead.
Y'all need to go trade for Brandon Ayuk also, Patrick.
Yeah. I really think I'm telling you, the Commanders it'd be perfect for them.
I know. It's the BFF quarterback.
No, but yeah, these quarterbacks, man, I don't want to see JJ McCarthy playing with third strings. I want to see no worse than second strings for the first week because I'm not learning much with them in the third string. I don't give a shit because like you're playing with the worst offensive line on the team. You're playing with the worst receivers, the worst running backs. I think you're gonna be surprised about Cliff Kingsbury, Patrick. I'm not a big fan as a coach, but as a play caller, the man's a mad creative guy, and I think with Jane Daniels, they will thrive together. That is what I'm excited to see. Head coach, no.
Pathetic as a head coach.
Head coach, yes, but play caller, he's creative. He can get the offense going. That's what you need him for. You don't need him to be the head coach at all. Let Dan Quinn be a coach. Just don't let him give Kingsbury too much fucking of a leash because he'll do what Shanahan did and fucking let Shanahan fucking destroy the Falcons and now the Commanders. And if you're up big, so let Dan Quinn learn from his mistakes there. Fucking God, I so much hatred towards them too. Sometimes we bring up those guys. But yeah, these rookie quarterbacks cannot be playing with third stringers. You got to play with second strings.
Not ones that are in contention to be a starter. Like you can't go like if Sean Payton's saying, let's see what Bo Nix can do and maybe win the job. He's not going to win it with the third string. Like you gotta give the man a chance to see what he can do.
Yeah, I agree with you around the ball. I mean, yeah, if you're playing with bad guys, and unless he's so much talent where he like. Can Mahomes
so much higher above all the other players? Yeah.
Look, can Mahomes go do it? Can like Josh Allen go do it? Sure, why not? But like, I don't want to see these rookies go play with them. I want to see second string. All 6 rookie quarterbacks because we had 6 of them. They all need to be playing with the second string or the first string. Preseason.
Plus, I want them with the first string O line. I don't want the quarterback behind a third string O line trying to impress us. That's just not going to work.
I like what Patrick just said. Michael Parsons may be playing with his old coaches next year.
I think Mike is going to win out.
Well, I mean, Dallas in the situation, you got 3 guys that want money. CD's going to get paid. CD is going to get paid. It's just when.
Absolutely. You have to pay him. He's going to be the highest paid by far. He's going to break Jefferson.
Dak and Micah could walk. They might not even pay 2. They might just pay 1. I mean, they might tag Micah, to be honest, and then maybe try and trade him.
I think it'll be a big offseason thing next year where he's pulling like a Bosa and he's sitting out, throwing a fit. I could see all that with Micah next year. But Dak's walking. Dak's walking.
There's a few teams that Dak could go to. You have the Raiders. You have the Steelers. Giants. Go get Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. Go get Josh McDaniels and get Dak Prescott. That's a good little start. Malik Neighbors and Dak Prescott, like that's there you go. That's the guy you want to see him with, right? You want to see him with the quarterback. No, but Jake, man, this is an exciting time, man. We are literally less than 2 nights away. We're less than 48 hours away from preseason action. Actually, around the balls HQ, I don't think the Cowboys are going to the playoffs. I'm on the record of saying 8 or 9 wins. And I was closer to 8 wins, honestly. I think their schedule's a lot harder than people think. I think they didn't do much at all. Obviously, in the preseason, they had Eric Kendricks. Congratulations. That's nothing. The offense is still the same offense with Zeke now back. I'm not excited. The O-line's question mark. I'm not excited for the Cowboys this year. It's a pretty tough schedule.
I agree with you around the ball. I think this is the year Dallas crumbles. Dak's gonna walk. They're gonna have a new coach because he's gonna be gone. They're gonna fully fall apart. Micah could be gone. It's gonna be a mess. Dallas is gonna go into almost rebuild mode, and they're repaying $50 million for CeeDee Lamb. I think they do crumble.
Well, I mean, starting this week, so we get 18 weeks of regular season. We get a few weeks of. It's going to be a fun 20+ weeks, 25 weeks of NFL football, college football coming around the balls. And Patrick, everyone listening, in a couple weeks, the days before the college football kickoff, we're going to do our college football playoff predictions. We're going to give our winner who we think is going to win the national championship with the top 4. We'll give all 12 teams, but we're not going to go game by game who's going to win each round. But we're going to give our final 4, our championship game. We're close to doing our NFL predictions too. We got winning divisions that we will go round by round as well because it's a quicker playoff run. But Jake, great episode, man. And we'll be back next week. We're going to, of course, do some week 1 overreaction preseason. You got to have an overreaction weekend. So games are over by Sunday.
Appreciate that all about the ball. Definitely.
Yeah. And you too, Patrick. He subbed too.
Absolutely.
Guys, this upcoming season, we're going to be doing about maybe 2 or 3 episodes a week. We're maybe thinking about doing watch-alongs on Monday night. We don't know yet. That's just not a set in stone. But Tuesday nights, we'll be definitely doing a recap of the week. Wednesday, doing our weekly predictions of each game with our scores so we can do over-under for points for the week and the spread too. That's what we do the points for. So let you guys know how we feel about the spread. So there's going to be 5 of us picking games and 5 of us picking or going over. Episodes might run a little longer. Might be 90-minute episodes potentially just because there's 5 of us. A lot of football to talk about. But Jake, can't wait.
Absolutely. Me too.
It's time.
It's time. It's football season, guys.
Best time of the year. It goes from Olympics to preseason. My family and I love the Lily World Series. So Lily World Series, good time to watch. Shout out to Lake Mary. They are in the Lily World Series, representing the Southeast region. Congrats to you guys. Blew the hell out of Tennessee today. I think it was like 11-0. And then it goes right into college football, Florida State, Georgia Tech in Ireland, Dublin, Ireland. And then Labor Day weekend, college football. The week after Labor Day, NFL football. It's a good time of the year. Best time of the year. Fall time is the best. That's Jake Winnicott. I'm Mark Davis. Shout out to the rest of the boys that are doing there. Shout out to you guys watching as well. Jake, shout out to your 49ers. I'm Mark Davis. This is About the Balls podcast. We are out. We'll see you guys next week. Good night.
Adios.